So we've got quite a few topics to jump into today, so we're just going to go over a brief agenda before we get started. We're going to talk about why Black Friday, Cyber Monday matters and why it's important to your business, the cost of failure should things go wrong, what it means to have a boring Black Friday, how Vercel can scale to support your success. Michael will go through the Black Friday, Cyber Monday readiness assessment, and we'll have customer success stories, as well as Boris will tell us how to optimize for the future with some e-commerce chat. So getting started, why does Black Friday, Cyber Monday matter? It is one of the most important e-commerce days of the year. Some people consider it the Super Bowl of e-commerce. It can make or break your business bottom lines with over $41 billion in total sales over the weekend. 1 hour of downtime can cost a company millions of dollars, and website speed and performance is one of the most crucial things to help drive your revenue. So what is the cost of failure on Black Friday? Why downtime is not an option? Downtime means lost money. Every second counts. That means customers can't spend money on your website. They get frustrated. They're going to go look for it somewhere else. In 2024, estimates range from $675 million losses due to downtime and about $540,000 per hour of downtime for medium and large online retailers. There have been some major historic failures reported over the last years on Black Friday. Retail giants have lost tens of millions of dollars due to downtime or website issues. You can see here we've got Nike, Costco, Walmart, and J.Crew all experienced major outages or downtime issues on Black Friday, and your business cannot afford to fall into this category and leave money on the table. So what does a boring Black Friday look like? Boring means billions in revenue. So what does that mean when we say a boring Black Friday? We want to make Black Friday boring for your support and IT teams, not your bottom line. This means no incidents, no surprises, no performance degradations. Core web vitals remain stable, and it's just business as usual. That means your team can have a stress-free day and focus on your customers. Teams work more efficiently, you get higher conversion rates, and brand reputation is strengthened because no one is complaining about your brand online and everyone is able to achieve what they came to do on your site. This means your team can focus most on what matters, running your business. You're prioritizing innovation and handling your customers as opposed to dealing with crisis management and trying to get things back online. This can make everybody happy and really drive record sales for your company. I'm going to pass it over to Michael to talk about how Vercel helps scale to handle this for you.
Hey, yeah, thanks, David. So we've talked a little bit about why this matters. We've talked about the cost of failure around Black Friday, talked about Black Friday as a boring mindset. But now let's transition to looking at how Vercel scales under pressure. And when we talk about scaling under pressure, what we're talking about is how does the Vercel platform respond dynamically to some of the largest traffic events on the internet. We're specifically talking about Black Friday now, but there are also, product launches. There's flash sales events. Discount codes get released and hammer your site. How do you do that? And how does the Vercel platform support that? Vercel has a goal here of 0 failures, while also making sure that it takes almost no manual intervention to handle this. It just works. In order to do that, the infrastructure is built to, one, automatically detect that new traffic load, then reallocate resources, and then reroute traffic so that users are unaware that anything is happening. Over the next few slides, we'll talk about some of the components that make that happen. But before we do, I just want to cover some of the historical stats here. So just so you know that we know what we're talking about, we've done this before. We did this last year during Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Some of those stats is Vercel handled over 1.9 million requests per second at its peak and served over 86 billion total requests. And all of that was done without a single platform incident. We maintained a 99.992% uptime, which translates to just a few seconds of potential downtime over the entire year across the entire platform. And we're able to do this because of our distributed compute across 100 plus regions, automatic failover, which I'll talk about here in a second, and a deep platform observability that allows us to detect and address anomalies very quickly in real time. My favorite thing about this is that no matter who you are, whether you're a startup just getting going or you are a global e-com retailer, everyone gets access to this infrastructure and can handle some of the biggest events on the internet. All right, so what are some of the components that allow this to happen? The first is fluid compute. This is really our secret to elasticity. It reuses existing functions and resources before provisioning new ones, allowing us to scale from 0 to millions of requests without cold starts or over provisioning. We also have automatic regional failover, which means that if, God forbid, a region goes down or goes unhealthy for any reason, traffic is rerouted globally within seconds. There's no manual intervention needed and no user disruption. And all of this is built on the global edge network, which brings your content physically closer to your users. That not only improves reliability, but also speed, since requests resolve locally instead of traveling back to the central server. But being fast is not enough. You also need to be personal, especially in the e-commerce world. Personalization matters. And that's where some of these other components come in. Things like Vercel routing middleware comes in, where it allows you to run logic at the edge, letting you personalize experiences instantly based on things like geolocation or A/B variant testing, or even looking at cookies for that request and that user, showing authenticated content. And all of that is done without needing to go to a backend API. We also popularized ISR, or incremental static regeneration, and that gives you the best of both static and dynamic. That means you can update only parts of your site when they change, so that you can ship new content in seconds and not have to worry about full rebuilds. And finally, we have the Flags SDK, which allows you to roll out and roll back changes instantly. And it even enables you to have this real-time experimentation with your content and your site during high traffic events with no consequences. And all of this runs on the same infrastructure that you saw in the last slide. This means that personalization doesn't come at the cost of performance. Cool. So now that we've looked at how Vercel scales and performs under pressure, let's talk about how we can help you prepare for some of it and have the same level of confidence. So every year we see teams scrambling in the final weeks before Black Friday. They're testing, they're trying to add in new features, they're optimizing their site all before, a code freeze. And this year we thought we wanted to change that dynamic. So we built a readiness assessment that helps teams identify potential gaps and address them proactively. This guide highlights where your site might need improvement and surfaces some of the most impactful recommendations that we see frequently. And whether that's around caching or routing or observability, it helps you get ahead of these things before Black Friday. So I'm going to show you a little of this app and how to use it. Give me 1 second while I switch tabs here. All right. Let me know if you can't see that, but this is the Black Friday assessment app. We'll send a link out for this. And it allows you to sign in with your Vercel account. And then it asks you a series of 6 questions based on categories and issues that we've seen customers struggle with. And I'm going to take you through this kind of as if I was working with a client, but you'd ask the client, how confident are you that your site will maintain fast loading speeds and handle the traffic spikes during Black Friday? And let's say, for instance, this customer feels pretty confident that they have a snappy site. They understand a lot of those components and pieces that make that happen in both the Vercel world, and maybe they're using Next.js or some of our other products. So they feel confident in performance. Let's say that they also feel confident about the security of their site. but maybe they're worried about the observability when it comes to the actual Black Friday and Cyber Monday events. So they may answer this as a 2 or a 1, say that they have low confidence. And maybe they also feel pretty low confidence in the support, and they want to know what kind of support they're going to have on Black Friday and how they can best get themselves unstuck if there is an issue. Then maybe they feel confident in the reliability of their site, and maybe if they feel confident in their cost management. So after answering these 6 questions, they submit, and you get a list of recommendations that we often work with our customers on, sorted based on your confidence in these certain areas. And you can see this list here. It's fairly long. You get access to, most of our recommendations here, but you can also filter these recommendations at the top by certain categories. Let's just take a look at, say support. And that's going to show you 4 of these recommendations that are very clearly around the support issue. Things like escalating or making sure that you have a support escalation runbook, an incident playbook, understanding self-triage in the Vercel and Next.js ecosystem, and understanding promoting and doing instant rollbacks. So you can drill into each one of these recommendations. You can see, the impact and the effort that we think this will have. You can look at some notes from our developer success engineers, things we recommend, common issues we see people run into, and links to some of the documentation to dive in deeper. You also have the ability to copy the information on this page. You can open it up in any one of the AI chat apps, including V0, ChatGPT, and Claude, and chat with that app about more details on this topic. And then you can also bookmark this recommendation so that you can come back to it later. As you can see, you can bookmark things here. You can view your bookmarks and you can share them with your team based on priority. You can also copy these and send them to your team later. So that's really it. This is just a tool for different teams to use to start a conversation, to identify any gaps and make sure that you're addressing them. And you're also more than welcome to reach out and talk about these different recommendations and see how other people are using them. Switch back to these slides. All right.
Cool. Thanks,
So David,
Michael.
no worries.
That's very helpful. I'm a big fan of this app. I think it's going to be helpful to a lot of our customers and people just out in the world to be prepared for Black Friday and the traffic that comes. So in the past, like Michael said, Vercel has done this before. We have scaled to billions of requests over the course of Black Friday, Cyber Monday weekend. So I would just like to highlight some of the case studies that we had from last year of customers who succeeded on Vercel for Black Friday. We'll start out with Helly Hansen, who migrated to Vercel in 2024. They reported a record-breaking Black Friday with 80% Black Friday growth, 0 downtime or performance loss. They hit a 2x conversion lift in conversion rate, and you can see from the diagram here that their core web vitals went from red to green. Being fast and performant is a big part of success on Black Friday, as you had to capture your visitors' interest, and we all know that Google will direct people to these sites that have better core web vitals than not. Our second example is Page, a clothing retailer online who a headless e-commerce stack powered by Shopify, Next.js, and Vercel. They saw a record-breaking Black Friday performance as well, with 22% increase in traffic with 0 downtime or performance loss again. They had a 76% increase in conversion rates and an overall increase of 22% in revenue during Black Friday, Cyber Monday week. Their team described it as being blissfully boring, which is what we just talked about earlier. No major incidents, all just kind of good times for the team there. So we talked a lot about the past of Black Friday. Let's talk to Boris about the future of Black Friday and how you can optimize for chat commerce.
All right. Thank you, David. So we're entering a new era of commerce, where the storefront isn't just a website. It's an intelligent interface that can talk, recommend, and even transact. That's what we call chat commerce, where AI agents like ChatGPT can help users discover, compare, and buy products directly in a conversation. And the technology that makes that possible is the Agentic Commerce Protocol, or ACP. It's an open standard that connects your storefront to AI agents in a secure and structured way. So we've seen these shift a few times. Desktop made buying possible. That's where online stores started. Think about like the early Amazon days. Mobile made it convenient. You could just shop from anywhere. But chat actually changes the interaction itself. People don't browse and click around. They just ask for what they want. That means the buying journey gets shorter. Discovery, choice, and checkout can all happen in the same conversation. So chat isn't just another channel. It's a new way customers reach you. Instead of visiting your site, they actually talk to it. So the Agentic Commerce Protocol, or ACP, is the open standard that makes chat commerce work. It defines how AI agents like ChatGPT can safely discover your products and create real orders using your existing commerce stack. And that's the most important part. Everything still runs through your system. The catalog, checkout, payments, fulfillment, they all stay connected to your existing APIs and backend. ACP doesn't replace your store, it just extends it into AI-driven experiences. So today, the first implementation is instant checkout inside ChatGPT. It's currently US only. Stripe is the only payment provider supporting the delegated payments. And you have to sign up for a waitlist if you want early access. But over time, we'll definitely see more payment service providers, more countries, and more AI platforms adopt ACP. But the model stays the same. You remain the merchant of record, and ACP simply lets agents talk to your store directly. So there are three main areas that define how chat commerce works today. The first is product feed. This is how your catalog reaches AI agents like ChatGPT. Instead of being crawled, you create feeds that are pushed to LLM providers in a structured format. So the model can actually understand what you sell and use that data accurately in conversation. The second is the agentic checkout. And this is where those discoveries become real transactions. The ACP checkout spec defines a consistent set of API endpoints and webhooks that let agents create and confirm orders through your systems. And the third one is platform readiness, making sure that your site performs well for AI-driven discovery. That means good SEO hygiene, like JSON-LD, allowing AI crawlers, and serving dynamic content from the server, since most crawlers don't really execute JavaScript yet. Together, these three areas, feeds, checkout, and readiness, form the foundation for how stores connect to AI agents today. So the first step is product feeds, which is actually structured product data based on the ACP spec. These are pushed to, for example, OpenAI, so ChatGPT can index your catalog for commerce queries. So it helps ChatGPT see your inventory. Implementing a feed is quite straightforward. Usually just transform your existing product data into one that their spec supports, like using either CSV or JSON or XML. The second step, agentic checkout, is actually the transaction layer of ACP. So it defines a small set of API endpoints that your backend exposes. So an AI agent like ChatGPT can handle a full purchase end-to-end. The agent just calls your APIs directly to fetch shipping, tax options, confirm totals, and create an order, and then hand off payment through your existing payment service provider. It's fully two-way, so your system can also send webhooks back to ChatGPT, for example, to update the order status, to let it know that an order has been shipped, for example. And implementing this doesn't mean that you have to do it completely by yourself. We've actually built an open source helper called ACP Handler to make these endpoints easy to add. So implementing the ACP spec means that you have to wire up a number of endpoints. You have to handle their order states, item potency, so you don't do double payments, and validation. And those parts of the spec can get pretty detailed. An ACP handler is an open source library that helps you do that the right way. Provides a framework for the ACP spec that handles the complex parts, like order state transitions, the item potency requests, the payload validation. So you can just focus on just integrating your own business logic. So you still own the core logic, but ACP Handler gives you the scaffolding to keep everything compliant with their protocol. It's meant to save time, reduce implementation mistakes, and makes it easier to get your platform ready for chat commerce. So that's how you make your platform ready to transact inside ChatGPT. Next, let's look at how to make it easy for AI agents to find and trust your storefront. So platform readiness. I'm having an issue. There we go. So platform readiness is all about being discoverable and trustworthy to AI agents. Good SEO hygiene still applies. You still need structured data, JSON LD, and clean metadata to help agents understand what you're actually selling. And accessibility matters too. Verified AI crawlers still need to reach your site. Vercel allows that by default. Since many AI crawlers don't execute JavaScript, streaming server-rendered content becomes critical. But Next.js and Vercel, your storefront can deliver dynamic, real-time data from the server, so agents always get the accurate, fresh information. So that combination, strong SEO practices and AI-friendly infrastructure help your store get recognized and trusted. And this is what drives visibility and sales inside ChatGPT. So you now come to the ready for the next era of commerce. So in the end, being ready means three things. It means that you're discoverable, transactable, and trusted. Vercel, Next.js give you the performance, SEO hygiene, and AI-friendly foundation to be discovered. The ACP protocol and ACP handler gives you the tools to transact directly inside ChatGPT, securely and on your own systems. And that same stack ensures your data stays real-time and trustworthy for both customers and AI agents. And together, it's how you prepare for the next era of commerce.
Thanks, Boris. That's going to be a very cool thing for next year, Black Friday, very relevant. We just wanted to give people the heads up, make sure they know that's coming down the pipeline because e-commerce is changing. So I want to thank you all for joining us today. We hope it was a helpful webinar. We encourage you all to complete the Black Friday Cyber Monday readiness assessment, and we hope wish you all a boring Black Friday.